Lex Talk. This is so not the right time to be filming right now because it is the busiest it's been all day long outside, and I live right next to a freeway entrance, so I was really thinking when I started this recording. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. As you can see, we are set. We are set, as you should be. So today we're gonna do a little Q&A because I feel as though a lot of y'all don't know half, if not most, of what be going on in my life, especially now that I'm out of college, because I basically fell off the face of the planet for the most part. Have not been dedicating much of my time to content creation in general. So this is me updating y'all on my life. I asked y'all to send me questions on Instagram, things that y'all wanted to know about my new life in San Diego, being a sponsored athlete, living somewhere completely different, being out of college, the whole nine. So we're gonna cover it all today. I'm only gonna answer a handful of questions because I don't want to make this video stupid long, but I'm gonna answer your questions straight from y'all. How has the transition from college life to everyday living been? It's been interesting, to say the least. Not bad necessarily, but not amazing either. Definitely been quite a change. Initially I was really super excited about having a lot of time to dedicate to just my craft and then maybe doing something to you know, pay the bills on the side. But honestly, it's been interesting. I can't really think of another word to describe it other than that. I think going from such a structured program to then transitioning into adult life, adult living, completely unstructured because now I don't have school, like, it's very different. As someone who also doesn't like to ask for help, I have had to ask because I'm not, you know, at the mercy of the NCAA, and I don't have a set structure every single day of the week. I don't have people that can, you know, buy my flights and figure out hotel rooms for me at track meets. I haven't had people tell me what to do, where to be every single day of my life. And while that was amazing at first, I learned, especially being a very high functioning person, that I not only got antsy really fast and very anxious because I didn't have anything going on, or what I in my head thought was not having anything going on, but also not having that structure there was very, very hard to transition into. And then also having to make my own structure was a very hard transition, because as much as I do like structure, I don't want to have to think about that all the time. You see my problem. And it's crazy because I think just recently, within the last month or so, now that the season's over and I have time to focus on myself outside of being at the track all the time, and obviously my craft, like my other passions, like, you know, content creation, social media, that sort of thing, personal training, I feel like I've finally started to get the hang of making my own schedule and being on top of my stuff and my deadlines that I have to set for myself, otherwise it's not gonna get done. It just took some time to get used to. That's all it was. What are you up to and what's your job? For those of you that don't know me very well, I'm a professional track and field athlete, but I also do personal training and fitness coaching on the side. So basically, I came to San Diego because I wanted to train out here.
What's up, brother?
I wanted the weather, I wanted the lifestyle, and the main thing was that there's coaches out here that knew how to coach triple jump. That was first and foremost on my priority list. It seemed like Southern California had a multitude of options for me when it came to good triple jump coaching. So I felt like this was the best fit for me. So I came down here to start training professionally. I am sponsored by a brand, LSKD. You see it? But basically, yeah, that was my main plan coming down here. And then once I got down here, I fully realized how expensive it is to live here. And I had to get a side job, basically. So I am actually a personal trainer and fitness coach at Willpower Community Fitness, which is a gym out here in San Diego. It's actually in the La Mesa area, if you're familiar, which has actually been really, really fun. Like, I've genuinely enjoyed doing that. I've done coaching and personal training in the past, and usually it's been with high school athletes or that sort of thing. This has been completely different. It's older folks or people my age, and they generally just want to, you know, they have their own set of goals that they want to hit. So that's been really cool to be able to do that for other people. Coaching has always been a passion of mine. I love coaching. I love doing it. So being able to do that on the side has actually been really, really fun. I've genuinely enjoyed it. Professional track athlete, and I'm also a personal trainer. Where do you see yourself in 5 years, and what goals do you want to come to fruition in 5 years? So what year will that be? It'll be, so we're coming up on 2025, so it'll be almost 2030. Wow. In 5 years, I will be 30 years old. That's disgusting. Well, I guess technically 29, but I'll be coming up on 30 because my birthday is in a couple months. Where do I see myself in 5 years? Well, in 5 years, we'll have passed the next Olympic year. So I will, mark my words and date it, be an Olympian. I will have fully established myself as a brand, because, you know, that's the thing that I've been building towards, is people knowing me for me, and not just for my athletic ability, not just for my looks, not just for, you know, whatever it may be. Like, I'm very multifaceted, and I want people to know that. So that's what I want my brand to be. I want people to know Lexi Ellis as a person and what I bring to the table and all the different avenues that I want to dive into, whether that be, you know, just regular lifestyle content, whether that be gaming videos, makeup, fashion, hair, you know, like, I want to do it all. I want to do everything. I think that's one of my major goals in 5 years, is being able to, like, fully stamp myself and cement myself as an entity, a brand. And then also just, like, you know, regular life stuff. Like, I do see myself having a family and being married and having kids and doing all of the little cute stuff. I'm just a girl. Just doing all of the regular, you know, lifestyle milestones on my own time. I'm in no rush to do that stuff. I think eventually, hopefully within 5 years, I would love to have a kid and have a ring on my finger and all that jazz. So yeah, I think another major goal of mine is actually to have some type of clothing brand or collection of my own, like my name is on it. I think that would be fly. And then I think being able to be content with, like, where I am in life. Like, obviously I'll always have goals because that's just who I am as a person, but being able to, like, be genuinely just happy where I'm at and be okay if, you know, God forbid, everything were to stop right then and there and I just had to stay stagnant wherever I was for the rest of my life. Like, that's my goal, is, you know, within the next 5 years, I've built myself up enough to where if I had to stop doing everything right now and just stay where I am, I'd be happy. Any plans to head to the East Coast anytime soon? I don't think so. The only time that I would probably head to the East Coast would be for, like, a track meet. That would be the only reason. So no, probably not anytime soon. Maybe for a trip. That would be kind of fun. I know some people out on the East Coast, so maybe. I don't know. If for some reason I got an offer to go to the East Coast for whatever reason, I would go, because I think the East Coast is really dope, but not necessarily planning to do that anytime soon. How have you been mentally recently? I'm definitely very happy where I am right now. I've learned, you know, some great and valuable lessons this year. I think being in Oregon and being so structured for so much of my life this year has taught me to be happy and be present, no matter what the situation is. In the past, it was very, very difficult for me to be happy if I wasn't necessarily satisfied with, you know, what I was doing on the track, what I was, you know, doing in school, performing. Like, it was a lot of performance-based stuff. Like, I was happy if I was performing well or if I was making people proud. But I feel like I've learned this year that I can be happy and also not be satisfied. Two things can coexist at once. And then, you know, like I said, I am very happy, but there was a time where I was super stressed just because of general life stuff. Like I said before, the transition was a tough one and it was very interesting. And there was a good chunk of this last year that I've been off YouTube where I genuinely was like, oh my God, this sucks. And it was hard for me to like get up and be motivated for the day because I had so much stuff going on and I had so much on my plate that I was stressing about, and there was so much pressure, not only just outside pressure but pressure that I put on myself, which it, you know, can be a good thing in doses. And I'm always gonna put lots of pressure on myself because that's just who I am. But I think I put a lot more pressure than I needed to this year, especially with all the stuff that I had going on and the transition from college to adult life. Like, I did not need to be doing that. But yeah, I'm happy. I'm excited for this next year. I am very excited. I am very proud of myself for what I was able to do this year, despite not necessarily being successful, I guess. I'm happy. Like, genuinely, I'm very, very happy. I'm excited for this next year. Or I should say, yeah, this next year. Next 6 months, next year, whatever the case may be. I think I finally started to get into the groove of my new life. I'm swinging back now. there was a period of time where I was just getting, you know, like I was just getting hit and I wasn't fighting back. I'm fighting back now. Favorite Bible verse. I got y'all. The godly may trip 7 times, but they will get up again. Proverbs 24:16. I got that tattooed at the end of last season, at the end of my collegiate career, and it still stands true today. And I know will always stand true for the rest of my life. So, had to get it stamped on me for life. As an athlete, everyone has those hardships, but how do you personally push through them? I think, and I was just having a conversation about this not too long ago with someone, I personally have to be upset. I have to feel all of the feelings as they come initially, no matter how stupid or how upset or how, I don't know, like even if people don't fully understand why I'm as upset as I am in that particular moment, or, you know, whatever it may be that triggered it, whether it be track, life, whatever. I feel like I have to feel those feelings in order for them to like fully get out of my system before I can move on and be like, all right, yeah, so now let's put some plans in motion to fix whatever's happening, or put some plans in motion to make the situation better, or whatever the case may be. I know some people aren't that way, and some people just like to solve it and move on and not really address it, but I think because of my psychology background, I know, one, that's not healthy for everyone, I should say. And it's also just not like, that's just not how I function. I don't function well if I'm just trying to hurry up and move on to the next thing, because I know it's gonna bother me down the line, if that makes sense. And that usually helps me to relax and think about the bigger picture, whether that means I gotta cry it out, whether that means I gotta be angry and irritated for a little bit. It's just gotta be full capacity, and then usually after that, I'm good. Like, I move on and I feel much better. If I try and bottle it up, I don't usually do very well. Sometimes you just have to be willing to be uncomfortable and upset. If it's something small, then, you know, I'll get irritated for a second and I'll be like, girl, stand up. It's not that big of a deal. I do journaling every day. That oh my daily reflection journal that I write in every day and have been for the last few weeks now that my season's over. And I think that's really helped put things into perspective. But usually I start my days a lot better when I start with journaling. So that's another way that I deal with what I got going on. Go on walks, get some fresh air, and just be present. That's another thing that's been a game changer for me. I think being present and knowing that everything's gonna be fine and that I have a God who is gonna take care of me and has big plans for me, kind of just puts things into a better perspective. I know that I'm gonna be okay, so there's no reason for me to be upset right now over something that I know is in his plan to make me better. And that took a really long time to get to that point. I think for a while, at least after I got baptized last August, actually, right before I moved out here. For a minute, it felt like when I was in those really tough times that I mentioned, I was losing my faith a little bit because I was always stressed and I didn't understand why everything was happening the way it was, and obviously you're not supposed to know. He's supposed to know, right? I was just so caught up in my own anxieties and my own stresses that I didn't know how to look at the bigger scale, like look at the bigger perspective that everything was gonna be okay and I was gonna be okay and everything was gonna be just fine. Yeah, just knowing, having faith, trusting the process, and just realizing that it's not my plan, it's his, and I have to surrender to it fully. Otherwise, I'm just gonna stress myself out. What is the biggest thing or top things you've gained and learned in your walk with Christ? You know what's funny is I saw a lot of stuff on, social media about how after you get baptized, you end up going through like the toughest times. And boy, is that true. No, but for real. I got baptized last August, right before I moved out here. And it felt like I was about to embark on the most perfect, dreamlike, post-collegiate journey ever. And then I got out here and real life smacked me in the face. I realized how expensive it was to live out here. I realized how different everything was gonna be. I realized how unstructured real life is, which threw me for a loop because that's just not how I functioned for so long. Of course, there are blessings and stuff that come from God that are outside of your control, but a lot of the best pieces of your life are usually fruits of situations that made you very uncomfortable, like stuff that were so far out of your norm that it almost made you give up on it. Those type of situations. I started having a word for the year last year. Come January, my word for the year was no, it wasn't January. Was it January? It was before January. So it was a year worth. I chose my word for the year last year and it was obey. And that was my biggest thing because that was my first year where I was walking with Christ on my own, and it was for me, and that was definitely what I needed that year. And so this year, my word for the year was trust. I have never, I learned how to trust in every sense of the word this year, and I'm sure there's more coming because the year's not over. We're only halfway through. I realized that I've never fully trusted anything or anyone besides myself. And even that was shaky. And so now, looking back on the last 6 months, I have so much more trust in not only myself and in what I can do, my decision making, my own emotions, but also in just life and in him and in my future, and even just the little everyday stuff, like little inconveniences that may stress me out. I know to trust whatever's going on is going to work out. Learning to trust other people. I feel like I have done a bad job in the past of fully Like, it was almost as if I wanted to have a little bit of a say in every single relationship I had with other people. And while, yes, of course, that should be the case, but it was almost like it was a condition for the relationship itself. Does that make sense? And now I've got to a place where the people that I hold dear to my heart and are close to me, I trust them fully. You come to me, you ask me for advice, I will give it to you, and I will do my absolute best to give you good advice. But if you choose not to take that advice and you feel like the total opposite direction will make you happy or is a better decision for you, I trust that that is the correct decision for you. And even if it ends up not being the case, I will be there for you and I will fully support you the whole way. I feel like one of my faults in the past has been, like I said, it was almost conditional trust, to where, you know, if I was asked for advice and I gave you advice and you didn't listen to me at all, I was like, oh, you know, I felt some type of way. I've learned that everyone is different, and my way of doing things and my way of handling situations is not necessarily always right. You know, while I do think that I have very sound advice and you should listen to me, it's not always gonna be the case for every situation. And I have to be more willing to allow other people to also give me advice on situations and give me different perspectives. I have to be willing to let other people give me different perspectives and actually hear them and digest it and be willing to be like, huh, that's different. And I don't think I would have done that had you not told me, but I'll try it. That sort of thing. In the past, I've always been like, I'll ask for advice from people that I'm closest to, and if I didn't get what they were saying at all, or I didn't agree, I wouldn't necessarily elaborate. I wouldn't ask the questions to understand their perspective. But if it was something that like kind of aligned with how I was thinking and was maybe a little bit different, then I might do it. You know what I mean? Like, now I'm a lot more willing to see things from completely different viewpoints and be like, huh, I didn't think of it that way. That might be a good way to go about it. Totally different from the way that I was thinking, but I'll do it. It sounds like sound advice, and it's coming from someone that I trust to give me that advice. I think that's been a big milestone for me, but also just trusting myself. Like, throughout this last year, I have gone through lots of periods where I did not trust that what I was doing was making any difference at all. What I was planning to do would not ever come to fruition and that the process was pointless, basically. Now I'm at a point where I trust that, like, even if I end up going in a different direction on something that I thought was, you know, my bread and butter or whatever the case may be, right? If God tells me no, not right now, or no, go this way, and I'm going this way, I'm gonna go that way. I won't fight it. I might fight it a little bit. It's me we're talking about. But I'm a lot more willing now to trust that everything's gonna be okay no matter what. I am capable of figuring it out no matter what. What keeps me hungry in the track and field world? Honestly, just recognizing my own potential and my own capabilities no matter what the performances look like, and knowing that I'm the hardest working person on the track and that I'm the and will always be the but I have to put in the work in order to showcase it when I need to showcase it. A lot of it is just me knowing my own potential and me not settling for anything less, and you shouldn't either. But all right, I think that's all we're gonna do today because I've already been out here for like an hour filming this video. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe, all that jazz. Same as always, leave a comment down below. Any other questions that you might have for me, I might store them away for next time, or I might answer them in the comments. I'm gonna try and upload every Sunday or Monday. I haven't decided. Let me know, actually, yes, let me know in the comments if you'd rather me upload on Sundays or Mondays. But I really, really, really want to get super consistent on here. So I want my upload day to be either one of those two, and I'm gonna do something different, or I'm gonna try to do something different every week. Hold me to it, press me if I don't post on whatever posting day I end up doing. I want to get super consistent, so I'm gonna upload every week. It says it's quite the commitment, but I'm willing to do it because I know y'all have been asking for it, and I've been slacking on my content game. But yeah, anyways, on that note, I'm gonna see y'all next week, and I hope y'all enjoyed the video. All right, bye.